Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. Oh boy, Little Sparkle has joined our party.
Yay.
Or 4 new people have joined the Sparkletones.
Well, I mean, we only know our adventures from our
That's
adventures. We know nothing of your adventures, bird person.
That's not true.
Yep. This
Rob's
group
character
is the
knows about
Dalinators.
one adventure.
thank you
Yeah, if
Well, that's
anyone's
true.
gonna be concerned about calling someone drumstick.
Yeah, right? That's why I'm creeped out by it.
All right, Rodrigo, where are we going this week?
Where are you going this week?
We're going to a tavern to get drunk.
Or to find information.
Okay, well,
Yeah, before we go to the tavern, do you have like a place I could wash up? I like I said, I actually straight up don't know the last time I bathed.
yes.
I'm sorry.
Not really. No, there really isn't like a good shower place on the ship.
All right. Well, maybe we can find an inn. She like sniffs herself.
Where at? So we get off the ship, and I guess we're
You
going to a
guys
tavern.
get off the ship and make your way through Lionfang Island. So Lionfang Island is, it's fairly large. You know, it supports at least this town, maybe even other towns off in the distance. It is full of mostly pretty rough-looking customers, as I pointed out last time.
On Critical Hit.
Critical Hit.
So you just got to wait for it. Yeah. There's no clear faction or banner or anything. You would imagine that most of these guys are, freelancers, as it were, mercenaries or bounty hunters, or someone that is a support industry to a bounty hunter and or a mercenary. Lots of people in leather armor. Everybody has a weapon at their side or strapped to their back or whatever. Humans, tieflings, dragonborn, mostly. A couple rarer things, but
Any other drow?
no other drow. It would probably be a good idea for you to get your cloak back and just, throw it on for.
Yep.
You probably don't have to like actively hide, but not drawing attention to yourself would probably be best.
Yeah, probably going to do the whole cloak up, try and pass for an Eladrin thing.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of people that are walking around with their cloaks up. So this is the sort of place where when you see someone that has their cloak up, you know that you probably don't want to mess with them, as opposed to in other places where that might seem suspicious and law enforcement might get involved. If there is law enforcement here, it's impossible to tell them apart from the rabble. This island, at least the place where you are, is pebbly. So you guys are walking down a pebbly pathway, and you find the tavern pretty soon because it is a very sizable building so far, other than kind of the docks office. It's the largest building you found so far. It's a tavern and inn. It's 2 stories tall, and has kind of a L shape with kind of a quad type area in the center, which also looks pretty rough. It looks like, at least one fight has taken place there, possibly using some magic, because there's some very, very radial scorch marks that you guys can spot. The tavern clearly has a central sort of tavern building, and then what extends like right at the center of the L, like right at the angle of the L. And when I say L-shaped, both wings are the same size. It's not like one's longer than the other. It's just that kind of 2 sort of similar sized things at a 90-degree angle. And so you guys are able to just walk right up to the door. the doors are wide open, and you guys hear, general dull roar coming from inside. Once you guys step in, assuming nobody wants to do something before you go in. Once you guys step in, first off, I'm guessing everybody who has weapons is bringing their weapons.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
As you step in, you see that it's actually, it's clearly full of rowdy folk, but it's actually not that rowdy in here. The staff seems to be doing a good job of getting everybody their food and drinks, and there are a couple of really, really mean-looking tiefling bouncers, one standing by the bar and one standing by the door. It's like one of them has like one of its horns is chipped, and the other one has a big old scar, and they're just kind of scanning the room at all times, and everybody seems to give them plenty of space. But again, you're able to, walk right up to the bar or grab a table or whatever. This place is hopping, but there's plenty of room.
I think we need a dark table.
I think we need a drink.
Sounds like a good call.
What do you say, Little Sparkle?
That sounds great.
They kind of wobble up to the bar.
You're buying, right?
Of course.
Okay, there's a human bartender, male, tall, nice, friendly, round face, nice, friendly, round belly, classically wiping a mug as you come up.
Barkeep,
What'll be?
your hardest drink, please.
Oh, the hardest drink, huh?
Yes. And one for my friend.
Oh boy. That sounds like a dare. What's the hardest drink?
Let me see what we have. We have this unlabeled clear liquid.
Oh boy, not that. You can have that.
I take that, grab the bottle from him, pull off the cork, take a sniff.
God, what? Does
it smell like burning?
Yeah. It's like I was gonna make a joke about whether you had like fire resistance, about what happens to your nose hair, but yeah, basically yes.
Okay. Perfect. Pour one for me and my friend.
Oh, no.
All right. He gets out some shot glasses and pours each of you a shot glass.
Can I?
To you, Little Sparkle, to our adventures.
Yeah, thanks. She'll
Toss it back.
Yeah, sleight of hand that.
Okay. Oh yeah, burns so good.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
That is good. Barkeep.
Mm-hmm.
How much for the bottle?
The bottle, I'm afraid I can't let this go for more than 2 gold, or for less than 2 gold.
I reach into my pocket and pull out 2 gold.
All right.
Get rid of this.
I fill up my flask with it. Give him the bottle back. The table over there. Now the alcohol starts to hit.
I will guide him back to the table.
The table over there, barkeep. We need food.
All right.
And more drink. As Little Sparkle is kind of pushing him as he's leaning back to the table.
Yeah, we'll just take whiskey for the next round. Thank you.
All right. So you guys make it to your table, where I'm guessing the rest of you are already waiting.
Yep.
Yes. Back to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As far into the shadow as inhumanly possible.
Keeping an eye on
You find a
Sparkle.
pretty dark table,
Excellent.
and it's large enough that you guys can all sit comfortably.
With all of our backs to the wall.
I mean, you couldn't do that comfortably. Somebody's going to have their back to not the wall, but you find a rectangular table that allows 3 backs to the wall.
Excellent.
So
who's
if you
still
wanna
there?
give me a sitting order, you can.
I will be closest to the room. Thanks.
And I'll be next to her.
How noisy is this place? Like, can I hear any specific conversations from where we're sitting?
Oh yeah, if you try, you can hear any given conversation.
Yeah, basically, I'm
Nobody.
gonna.
I mean, there are some people that are being hush hush, and that would actually take a roll. But
Sure.
you can eavesdrop on pretty normal conversations, and they run the gamut from like, yeah, that bastard hasn't paid me yet, so I'm gonna pay him a visit, to like, they have this, they have these pigs in this island, and you can just walk right up to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically try to like listen for a bit and see if I can get anything along those lines of like the state of the war or the date or any names of major gods being dropped.
Give me what is it called nowadays? Is it Streetwise?
Yeah.
Give me one of those. One of those
Sweet.
checks.
That's one of my best skills. So
yeah, that's what gather info is nowadays. And by nowadays, I mean 1,000 years in the past, because we're playing with a super old system.
Yep. I've got a 36.
36 is good. Okay, so what are you? Give me one thing that you're looking for.
What date it is?
Well, I'll give you that one for free. Give me something else.
What is the state of the war?
Okay. The state of the war is what war?
Okay.
Other than, small. Basically, there's still fighting going on, but Asmodeus has this pretty well wrapped up.
Okay.
To the point where like a lot of his like mercenary companies that he was employing are now looking for other business.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And you realize that you've probably been a rat for about 8 months.
Yep. That's about what I thought.
And I lean over to her. Thief?
Hmm?
You're a thief?
Yeah.
So what do you hear?
Asmodeus has almost entirely won the war. I was a rat for 8 months.
Means Master Orm's still. Oh, no.
Yes.
What date does that make it by your reckoning?
Thursday.
Yeah. So by that
over.
reckoning, you guys figure out that not too much timey distortion happened in the Feywild. You guys have in fact been on this mission for, a little over a year. Just like because your mission started at the same time as Little Sparkles.
Mm-hmm.
So the entirety of the mission has taken, a year and 4 months.
Okay.
Down to this point.
That's okay. I didn't lose too much time then.
An interesting ship. Have you tried this drink, Albrecht? And I pour him a glass.
Doesn't seem like ale.
No, not the weak stuff.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Albrecht tries it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but he's a dwarf, so it's gonna be a while until he starts to feel it.
Yeah, +5 racial bonus to poison.
Yep. That's exactly right.
What about you, Zuzman? You want some of this?
Zanam, and no, if I need varnish stripped, I'll take care of it myself.
This'll probably do it.
More for me.
You guys get a round of what did you ask for, Sam?
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Yep. So you guys get a round of whiskey, and you get like a kind of pilaf-y looking thing with some sort of crustacean on top of it.
Is it dead?
Yes, it is dead.
Sweet.
Had to check.
Yeah, Sparkle again just starts, even though like we just ate fish stew, I don't know, in the last scene, she just starts devouring the food again.
I just grab the crustacean thing and crack open its shell and just kind of eat it, just you know, right with my hand. And I look right at Dallin as I'm doing that. I just wipe some of the crustacean grease on my monk shirt, which I'm sure causes him to be all weirded out.
With the practiced air of someone who's done this dance before, Zanam actually moves the crustacean onto Seven's plate. So my plate has no crustacean, and now he has another.
Not anymore.
He burps loudly, I'm sure. But
Food in the belly is good.
And the person who brings it is like, do you need anything else?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if there's something you could provide or point us in the way to. We got a bit turned around on our way here, and I was hoping we could just get a map of the area of the sea, this part.
We probably do have some people staying here that can get you some charts. I can go ask around, but no, I totally get it. Ever since the pillars went up, it's been pretty crazy. It's been really hard to navigate.
Yeah,
what pillars? What pillars?
She glares at them. It's just like, he's so drunk. No, it's a real pain. And if you I'd love to, talk to someone or see some maps that, especially where to avoid things. It's hard to deal with the sky too. Oh
yeah. Well, I can see why you guys are having trouble. I mean, having one so close and all. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I'll try to find you guys someone.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Pillars.
She like glares at Seven. It's like. Well, kind of. Look, I try to not act like it's your first day.
Just kind of glares at her.
Sometimes the direct route's the best.
Yeah, rarely. Not when we're in this point of a war.
Well, if they're new, many people are probably checking them out.
Yeah, I don't think they're that
probably
new.
Steering clear.
Either way, they're of interest to everyone.
Well, the good news is there's one close, so we should be able to figure this out and, get a look at it. The Sarza had a secret base. If I see a map, I might be able to figure out where it is. If it's still secret, if anyone's still there.
So we finish our delicious meal. Crustaceans, better than potatoes.
So how do you know of this secret base?
I was there.
With your friends?
Yeah.
Seems like as good a place to start as any.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost assuredly compromised. Sakar was compromised, so we could... I'm guessing that Asmodeus was able to get him to just tell where it is, but who knows? I don't know exactly how the domination worked. But yes, certainly a good place to start if anyone survived. I mean, I wonder if Stabums is still there. I wonder if it's just nothing but spiders. Who knows? It'll be fun to find out.
You have some interesting ideas of fun.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've been a rat for a while. Yeah, I'm going to just listen in on conversations some more and try to play catch up while we wait for this map.
Yeah.
Okay. What else are you trying to find out?
I guess when they say like the war is pretty much wrapped up, like, if I can get anything along the lines of like, are there specific other gods that are dead, or like any basically familiar names, or like, what the state of various islands are they occupied? Have they been burned to the ground?
Resistance pockets may be left.
Right. You do hear some of that stuff, but it's nothing too conclusive. You catch a couple of kind of interesting things. One of them is, people talking about Shalai, ever since the ley lines in Shalai and blah blah blah. It's like, well, yep, I don't know what we can expect since Arath is being dead and all.
Yeah, so she just like, sits back and like sips her whiskey and like just looks entirely impassive and like, Arathis is dead.
More
Did we
gods
know
fall.
that?
No.
Okay.
More gods
Yeah.
fall. More gods fall. Seven
Yeah,
Owls Wise just puts his chin on the table, on his arms, just kind of stares at his gourd of alcohol and just kind of rolls it back and forth, thinking.
I think I'm still fighting back.
Quite disheartening.
Not that I've been able to gather yet, but I can. I've got an idea or two. Have I been able to, like, basically? I know you said that some of them were already talking about where they were like looking for new work.
Mm-hmm.
Were they talking about like anywhere, specifically fronts that they might go to or they had recently been to?
You do get a little bit of something where somebody brings up whether that the call had a while ago gone out from the Sage's Rectory. And then somebody else is like, no, that's about wrapped up. You don't. I don't think it's worthwhile going and checking that out.
You know what? I'll just kind of sidle. Like they're talking, like that group's talking relatively loudly.
Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone like not drank their whiskey?
Any of these guys?
Yeah.
Like any of
Zanam
your
has
party?
not drunk his whiskey.
Dahlin
then she
hasn't
grabs-
touched any whiskey.
She just grabs Zanam's whiskey and how many people are at that table?
We'll say there's 3.
So I've got 2 undrunk glasses of whiskey.
Yeah.
All right. 3 people. Yeah, she'll just grab the 2 undrunk glasses of whiskey and walk over to the table.
Okay.
Couldn't help but she like sets down the glasses of whiskey and kind of like she like does a quick assess, try to figure out like almost like a pecking order, basically, like who the biggest or toughest is, and like puts the glasses of whiskey in front of them. Just says, couldn't help it, you guys over here, you're looking for what's next.
Why don't you give me a diplomacy check for approached creepy mercenaries?
Yep. Luckily, that's also a specialty of mine.
Being creepy or approaching?
All of the above. That's not a great roll. It's a 29. Can I reroll that with always a natural?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's a 39.
Okay.
That's much better.
Yep.
You set the whiskey in front of those guys and kind of go to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that you determined to not be at the top of the pecking order, like, goes to stand up and reaches for his weapon, and the one sitting next to him just like puts his hand on his shoulder and sits him back down.
She like gives a little grin.
Yeah, why? You know something? Says like, the other one that wasn't involved in that exchange.
Honestly, I'm just looking for work myself.
Well, it's gonna be small stuff nowadays. All the big fights are pretty much wrapped up. Okay, so the Asmodeans aren't hiring, so it's not a lot of work. You can go work with the resistances, but you'll probably get killed.
Sure. Have you tried any of that?
We were on a support team over here at Blake Forest, but we didn't actually see any action. The Drow pretty much did it all.
Tight forces, Asmodeus and Lalfa put together.
Oh yeah. Those little elves didn't stand a chance.
Had that did any sighting of Corlon himself?
Not that I know of. Although again, it's all pretty bad. So I wouldn't show up either if I was him.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Where are you guys gonna head? Any ideas?
The one that was getting uppity, he's like, nah, I think we're gonna try to find that guy who's supposed to have the starfish. And the one that was next to him like elbows him in the ribs.
Oh, what's the bounty on him?
Oh, it's the bounty isn't on him, it's on the starfish, says the guy that you'd been talking to, who now is like, well, crap.
That's cool.
Yeah, in fact, there's about maybe 24 bounties on that starfish.
Wow. Just everyone wants a piece of it?
I'm supposed to be able to kill a god with it, so.
Yeah, that's, I heard the rumors of it. I didn't realize it was, hadn't been found. Who's this guy that's even carrying it around?
Last I heard, it's supposed to be some elfy-looking wizard guy. He has a fancy mustache, beard or something.
I know the type. Likes to hang out at gambling dens.
Yeah, something like that. That's what I heard. It's like, and the guy's like, yeah, he's supposed to be on the island. And he gets slammed on the ribs again.
She gestures at the bartender. It's like, what island?
This island.
Oh, here?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Lucky day is me.
Hey, now. We're pretty sure that we're pretty close to finding it, so maybe you should look for something else.
All right. Fair enough. What's a girl with some daggers to do in this messed up world anymore?
Well, honestly, we're thinking of going back into the rackets, assuming this starfish thing doesn't pan out.
What, like go to the boardwalk or something?
No. Just set up someplace, start,
Protection?
Working the poor folks for money.
Yeah, well, it's always, always poor folks. War doesn't change that.
Definitely not with the god of tyranny being in charge.
Yep, that's certainly true. Well, enjoy the drinks, boys, and happy hunting.
Thanks, you too. And definitely stay away from Bleak Forest.
Yeah, no, I'm no fan of dealing with drow. Got poisoned one too many times.
Yeah, especially they're really up in a tizzy since the pillar's there. And he kind of gives you a cheers movement with his glass, and they kind of go back to talking amongst themselves.
Okay. I'll grab another drink from the bar for myself and head back to the table.
So how far away was that from where we were sitting?
Not very far.
Could we hear?
You could hear some of it, enough that, Sam's not going to have to repeat every last
Sure. But if there was a utterance of pillar, would my ears perk up?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, almost
not as much
certainly
as,
with the wisdom you're packing up.
Your ears don't perk as much as mine or Zanim's.
True. Perky ears is part of the package.
Yep.
She gets back to the table. You boys get that?
For the most part. What is this starfish?
Well, it sounds like they're talking that Ket got away with the starfish, which is something.
What is it?
It's what they say it is.
God killer?
Yep.
Too many gods have died.
Yeah, well, one more is going to have to before this is over. Arathis was sick to begin with. I think she knew what she was dealing with.
I suppose.
Before the reveal, I'd seriously considered signing on to her organization.
Arathis?
Yeah.
Why?
She speaks my language.
And who's the one with the starfish?
Ket.
He's here?
Supposedly.
Wait, didn't you two travel with Ket?
We did.
Mm-hmm.
How certain are we that he's still on our side?
No idea, or what the consequences of my contacting him would be.
Why would he be? Why would he be here with a god?
17? There's like 17-year-old girl with a giant backpack walks up to you guys.
Hi.
Hey, I heard you guys are looking for charts.
Oh, yes. You've got some?
I do. I have all kinds of charts.
Oh, lovely. She'll like gesture clear space on the table.
What exactly are you looking for?
Yeah.
Oh, looking for one that shows the ideally location of the pillars, so we can steer clear of those.
Oh, you want
And
to? Okay, yeah, sure. I can say that. Uh-huh.
and
She starts
and
looking
then,
through her backpack.
if you've got a kind of large scale astral sea map, that'd be great. Specifically the Divine Isles, or what's left of them.
Yes. Also, I do have an extra sextant, which is some magnification, so you can see through the broom.
Oh,
if you're interested.
almost assuredly.
Who's your navigator here?
She
Everybody
looks at the guys.
points it.
That would be me.
She hands it to him. It's a nice sextant.
I sextant it up.
Ugh.
Yep, looks good.
What does one do with this? I literally do not know what one does with the sextant, so I'm going to do something appropriate.
Look through it.
Well, it's
Stab
hard to
yourself
do
in the eye.
anything. It's hard to do anything in here. You would just kind of have to generally gauge the quality of it, because a sextant allows you to kind of basically create a line that then allows you to kind of line things up as you are looking through it.
And to be clear, that's Matthew not knowing what a sextant is. Anam clearly does.
Sure. I mean, I'm not 100. I couldn't tell you exactly how a sextant works, but yeah, it's a navigational tool.
Thank you.
She marks she puts a mark by Bleak Forest, and which you guys seem to be really, really close to.
I lean in to study that section of the map.
Yeah. And then she tells you that she doesn't know where two of them are exactly, but she puts another mark in a place that is labeled as the 1,000-hectare armory.
So how many total pillars are there?
4.
4. Convenient. Just wanted to make sure.
That'll be 20 gold.
Reach into my robe. 10 gold.
Well, you see, this is a very precision equipment, so you need to. Just the section itself is worth 10 gold.
15 gold.
I'll toss out the other 10.
Okay.
Do you know what the status of the war is at the 1,000-hectare?
Well, I haven't been there myself, obviously, because it's very dangerous. But
Yeah, of course.
Last I heard, all of those scary ghost monsters had that all wrapped up.
Scary ghost monsters. All right, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. She gathers up all her charts that you guys didn't buy and wanders off.
1,000-hectare armory.
Yeah, just one of our allies is Ulridon, the god of that place. He was a dwarf god. I guess he's fallen. Yeah, we don't know for sure if he's dead. They had good defenses, but not enough. I guess maybe I was, I don't know. Maybe I was wrong about the huntress. All right.
Was Great Tiger one of your allies as well?
Sure was.
Who were your other allies?
Thene and Melgubliet.
The goblin god?
Yeah. Well, he's no fan of Asmodeus's.
So gods are dropping, and we got someone with a god killer running around.
Well, like I said, the God Killer's got Asmodeus' name on it. We should try to get maybe. God, I sure don't really want to go to Snapstab again. All right. Poring over these maps, can I try to figure out where Rutile was or is?
Not really. Rutile Island was super hidden.
Sure.
So, and it had like specifically a weird orbit. So it's you would basically need either someone else who has been to Rutile Island to help you like coordinate this, or somebody who like a Pixo level like cartographer to figure it out.
Actual cartographer.
And also, it's not like we took any traditional means there and back. So.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why, because that's why you would need somebody else to be like, do you remember the stars around there, what they look like and stuff? Because it would be very difficult, partially because traditional means were never taken, and also because you guys kind of always had people to do it for you. So, other than Sakar, who spent like a little bit of time with Pixo, like nobody really like made it their business to figure out exactly where Rutile Island was.
Yep.
I think it's pretty obvious where we're going.
Where's that?
To the pillar.
So, what was your prophecy
To the
again?
Bleak Forest.
I gotta bring the gourds to the pillars.
All right. Well, great.
One gourd for each pillar.
Yeah. Again, convenient.
That would be nicer if it was one pillar, 4 gourds.
That sounds too easy for heroes like us.
Might have to.
Oh, having figured out the date, can I figure out where we're at in the lunar cycle?
Sure.
How soon is the next full moon?
It is the next full moon.
Oh, it is the next full moon?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Is the moon, would the moon be out now, technically?
Probably. It's just hard to see.
Huh.
So you might be on a bit of a timer.
Well, so I haven't turned into a were-rat monster, so that's something.
Yes.
Because the moon should be out now, right? Yeah, think so. Maybe whatever this red nonsense is messing with it, or again, weird custom lycanthropy.
Maybe you're a rat were.
Oh, great. That sounds fun. I really hope not.
Well, no, you can't be.
Oh yeah, I wasn't born a rat.
Yeah, that doesn't exist in this setting. Let's just
darn.
No wolf wares, no reverse vampire elves.
Wait.
All the parents are reverse vampires.
New concept.
I was a reverse vampire. Thank you very much.
You weren't an elf, though.
You were not a reverse vampire. You were a half vampire.
I was an inverse vampire.
Okay.
I was an emiperv. Shush.
All right.
Well,
if I was Ket, where would I be?
Gambling.
I don't suppose any of you people who've
Gambling.
met Ket know how to cast Sending.
I am not a magic user. Ask the creepy one.
Do I know how to commit? I've never met Ket.
Oh, yeah, there's also that.
Well, I mean, can you create a scroll ascending? Because Albrecht and Seven Owls Wise have.
I don't think
Maybe
I
with
have
some resources and time.
ritual casting.
none of you guys are ritual
We're not
casters.
rituals, yeah. I'm not, at
Yes, sir.
least.
So the laboratory, you still have to be a ritual caster to use the laboratory, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That crew that little Sparkle was talking to gets up and another one comes in and talks to them, and they get up kind of hastily. And then you see another group who also kind of seems to have gotten some info, like kind of pay up, get their gear, walk out the door with intent.
I think that's where Ket is.
Yeah, I think we can do this the old-fashioned way. How stealthy are you guys?
He's a dwarf. That one's an Eldrin. That one's a drow.
When sober, 7 is formidable, as am I.
I'm always formidable. Regardless.
All right.
Okay.
Formidable
Well,
in stealth.
I'm gonna follow them, and you
We'll
guys
follow
can follow
along.
me from a distance, and we can see if they lead us to Ket.
I'll go with you.
I think we'll all go.
Yeah, at a distance. We don't want to have to fight them. I mean, we might have to fight them if they actually find Ket, but we don't have to want to fight them if they don't find Ket.
Might be easier to take them out before there's too much of a group fighting Ket.
No, we shouldn't take them out now because then they won't lead us to Ket.
They know where he's at.
Yes, and how are we going to get that information out of them?
There's
I show her
multiple groups.
my hands.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of beating information out of people. I'm much more of a fan of following people to the information.
We'll try it your way this time.
Great. All right. She downs the glass of whiskey.
Yep.
And walks outside.
Okay.
7 hours.
You
stands
do
up
not
quickly.
turn into a rat monster.
Hey.
Yay.
And
7
the
hours
moon is
stands
out.
up
You can
quickly and
see it through the fog.
stumbles back a little bit.
Should we go back and get at least one of the gourds?
No, the pillar's not even close. I mean, it's close, but not Ket close.
Would we even know which gourd to grab?
I have to cast lots to see which one of us gets the honor of getting rid of theirs.
It'll likely be self-evident once we arrive.
Come on,
All right.
and lead the way.
I start trying to tail these guys.
Okay.
Zanam stays with Little Sparkle.
Yeah, it's really not hard to tail these guys. They're
follow
trying to
but slowly.
hustle. So basically, they walk almost all the way through town to where actually some of the habitations start getting a little nicer. And eventually, they arrive at a house that has kind of a relatively well manicured kind of grove of trees around it, kind of as like a windbreak. And so imagine there's this pretty nice 2-story house, basically a lawn radially around it, and then kind of this U-shaped grove of trees framing the lawn around it. Standing around the house as these guys and the other group arrives are probably, at a rough count, about 200 people.
Whew.
They are all armed. Some of them have melee weapons. Some of them have ranged weapons. There's straight up a couple of them that have big wide brimmed hats with little stars on them and staves. And they're all kind of tensely looking at the house and also kind of at each other as Zanam and Little Sparkle pull up. You can see what at first is kind of something that at first is kind of difficult to see what exactly you're looking at. But if you guys walk a little bit to the side and get a different perspective on it, you realize that it is a humanoid block of ice that is basically, so if you think of a person that is kind of has their feet planted and their torso is pushed back, like they got hit in the chest with a a medicine ball or something, except they're completely frozen and there's little stalactites coming out of them, as in the direction that you would think they were hit in. Right? So basically a body with some backwards pointing stalactites and it's just kind of frozen in place, oh, I got hit by that spell.
Can we tell what it is that's in the ice?
Yeah, it was probably a human. He's you can see a sword nearby that got dropped when they got hit. Also, you can tell that they're the perimeter that the mercenaries and bounty hunters and stuff are keeping to, you would say is roughly a foot behind that if you were to draw it directly to the center of the house. As the other ones come up, because again, nobody is like really looking behind them. If you get into the thick of like all of these people that are around the house, then yeah, they're like, there's a lot of like checking to the sides to see if somebody's going to try and make a play for it. But as you guys come up, you see that there are other similar things. Like, for example, one of the walls of the house has a diagram on it right below one of the windows that has been scorched into the wood of the wall, and there is a very clear, you would imagine, conical path extending from it of like scorched grass, and no corpse there, but some drag marks.
So it looks like some magical attacks or wards have gone off.
Yep.
So we're all there now?
Yep, you're all there now.
Okay.
Sure putting up a fight.
Trump.
Is it Ket?
I don't know.
Think you
Is
get
there
a
a way to
closer
find
look.
out?
Not unless I'm, confident of being able to get through those wards, which I'm not.
Do you have any code phrases or secret passwords that might alert him to your presence?
I mean, I could say all sorts of things. It probably recognized my voice, but, again, I don't know if I want to make this scene right now, because if there's 200 people here that want to kill him.
Is there a way to lure them away?
Not with the size of
Or
a bounty
entice
that
them
must
to
have
attack
been.
and see if
Yeah.
Does it look like there's any way into the structure? Like a chimney?
Yeah, there's a chimney, there's a skylight. Like, just looking at the house, there are multiple windows. Like, this is a nice house to live in, not like a fortress.
I wouldn't get too close, though, because, like I said, magical perimeter.
Yeah, although it's not a hard magical perimeter, right? It's not like anybody walks up and they
instant zap
get transmogrified. It's like they're keeping to that perimeter because that's roughly where they judge either the zapping range or where the magical traps are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, that sigil that you saw was well within the magical perimeter.
Sure.
Is there any chance this could be some kind of decoy?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, any idea where he'd be otherwise?
No, I absolutely not. I didn't even know that he'd escaped.
Are there any other houses nearby that look deserted? Like they've been unoccupied,
no,
perhaps?
No. There's you can see other houses. Again, this is like a ritzier part of town. The houses are bigger and farther apart.
So are there people standing in the windows looking at the
Oh
commotion?
yeah, absolutely.
I'll scan all of the windows looking to see if I can see Ket in another house.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
It's not like he has any kind of disguisey hats or anything.
Yeah, right.
37?
I mean, you definitely spot lots of people. None of them are Ket, and only some of them are wearing hats.
Any of them acting cagey.
Yeah, but none of them are acting...
there's a few that you could certainly rule out.
Okay, but nothing that gives any indication that the people watching, anybody that's giving an indication of they know what's going on.
No, everybody seems pretty freaked out as to why a bunch of people are attacking this house, unless you're one of the people that are attacking this house, at which point it's pretty clear as to why this is happening.
Right, okay.
Since Seven is looking around, he realizes before everyone else that like a group, like a kind of a quadrant of the mercenaries around the house kind of hush up, and he's able to spot that there is like a half orc with a long sword like on top of the house and is kind of like slowly making his way to the chimney.
I nudge Albrecht and point up. And then I nudge Zenum.
Should we
and nod up to the roof.
watch and see how this plays out?
This should be interesting.
Yeah.
I take a swig from my gourd.
He makes it to the chimney, looks down, and disappears. And then you hear from like way off in the distance, slam. like maybe like 600 yards back that way, the way you guys came.
That is a thoroughly trapped house.
Question is he inside?
Oh, he's inside, all right.
Are you sure?
Keeping an eye on that bastard, yes.
You saw him go in?
I saw him poke out of the window and zap one of my boys.
What he
He's
looked
still
like?
inside. Oh, you know, fancy beard, pointy ears, hat, staff. You know those wizard types.
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
So,
Scratching my beard.
I kind of get the impression if we are all to charge him at once, couldn't possibly get us all.
Yeah, well, you don't get paid until you turn the starfish in, so what sort of melee do you think that would turn into?
I feel like it's going to be a melee no matter what.
Well, that's why nobody's going in. If you go in first, everybody else is going to stab you on the way out.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much going to come down to the toughest no matter what.
Or the smartest.
I suppose.
I'm going to do an Arcana check.
Okay. For what?
Just take a
Arcanas.
look at the house, see what potential wards there are. Maybe help identify the spells that were cast on
What we saw.
the various victims we've seen.
Okay.
Hey, this character sheet actually calculates the Arcana correctly.
Oh.
Nope.
There sure was magic here.
Oh boy.
Wow. I hate to see what would happen if you rolled anything beyond that.
Yeah, that was that was a botch. So we'll just pocket that for now, but say that
God.
Dallin doesn't get a good read on this, which does hint that maybe it's not wizardly magic.
I don't think this is a wizard, guys.
Well, Ket's not actually a wizard.
Yeah.
What is he?
He's a warlock.
He collects souls from people he gambles with. Oh, what is that?
Warlock.
That's a trade secret.
Creepy is what it is.
Did that description sound anything like your associate?
Oh, yeah. Sounded just like him.
It's been years. I would vaguely familiar.
Yeah. Sounds like him.
We'll have to go through the archives and see if Ket had grown his mustache at that point. I think it might have been a post-time jump thing.
But when did he grow the tail?
Stop it.
I will physically fight you.
So
The tail's the car's
Shoot.
trick.
Seven Owls is scratching his beard, and it's like, we need to disperse this crowd. We could each take 50.
Possibly.
Easily. All right, I'll take 75. You guys can take 35.
How to get past without the wards triggering? That is a real question.
The question is he triggering the wards manually, or are they automatic? Because if they're manual, he should recognize 3 of us,
Yeah,
and we would have no problem approaching.
but he shouldn't let us in. And if we approach and we don't trigger the wards, there's going to be a stampede. So,
Well, I'll tell you guys this. Disabling a magical trap is more difficult than disabling a physical trap.
But it is doable.
But it's the same roll. It's a thievery
Alright.
check.
Fair enough.
You can use either thievery or arcana to basically dispel a ward or disable it. And spotting a pressure plate or wand carrying ghost or whatever this guy is using, like it's still a perception check. So you guys are equipped to say, like, either try to approach or get into this house or whatever. The issue is that whatever you choose to do, you're going to have to deal with both the, like, either sneak past the gathered mob and also deal with the zappies.
If only there was a way to distract them to think that he's out of the house.
I mean, that's possible. Are any of you illusionists? I can throw my voice a bit. I could also try to sneak in closer and get a better idea, and maybe he'll be able to see me.
Would insight help me confidently determine if we really need to be worried so much about getting in the house, or if there is some sort of elaborate decoy?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
All right. Oh, crap. Oh, well, not 20 plus 26.
Okay. All right. So I'll tell you this with Albrecht's godlight insight. Here's some information that he gets.
Mm-hmm.
From spending some time around and observing some of these mercenaries, you would imagine that some of these guys are a big deal. Not that they're famous, but that they're actually straight up, like, interplanetary bounty hunters, which isn't that hard here in the Astral Sea. You can basically sail from planet to planet. But they're like, you've got your Fets and IG-88s here gathered up. They're
Lobo.
For serious, and they wouldn't just be like, oh, was a guy in here? I'll stand outside of this house. Like, they're actively trying to figure out how to get in, when to get in, which is both a clock on trying to extract whatever's in this house, and also a affirmation that whatever's in this house is probably what they say it is.
They know better than us that their target's in there.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to try to sneak in.
Okay.
I'm going to, as a distraction, I'm going to push my way through the crowd till I'm right up in the front. And I'm going to take like 2 steps in front of the line and just kind of stand there staring at the house.
Sounds good to me.
I saw it coming.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Skills challenge with a vintage minute.
Why is it hurtful?
Roll me initiative.
Okay. Back to the sheet.
I have a good initiative.
I will point out that you can all see Albrecht.
Yeah. You and all allies who can see you and hear you get a +2 to initiative.
Oh, sweet.
And I assume danger sense would also be applicable here?
Sure.
Okay. So 2d20, take the best.
So, sorry, +2 you said?
+2, yep.
Thank you.
Which, yeah. Me and all allies. Okay, yep. Okay.
Okay, 7 L's wise.
40. Nat 20, but +18 +2 is 40.
Zanum.
39.
Albrecht.
27.
Dallin.
34.
And Little Sparkle.
41.
Oh, boo!
You wanted to be the
Not
fancy
really.
fasty pants.
That's good, though.
No, because we have 2 stealthy characters that are right next to each other.
We have 3 stealthy characters that are right next to each other.
Boo.
Now
It's the Randus Cat Aurum triad all over again.
this would technically be a minor action.
Yeah, because it's stealth instead of arcana.
Yep.
Yay, I get to use Arcana.
Now, yeah, I mean, I would assume from previous encounters that My allies might know that I can give a fairly substantial bonus to social checks, like for 1 round.
You mean like bluffs?
Bluff?
Like
yes.
what kind of thing? Well, mine is so low, I wouldn't even try it.
Yeah. +6
Bluffs
bonus.
Plus
Inside.
6? That actually
Oh,
puts me in
pretty
a
good.
range that...
You and each ally in burst until the end of your next turn. Each target gains a bonus to bluff checks. And, yeah. To bluff,
Oh.
diplomacy, and intimidate.
What type of bonus?
Just it's bonus, untyped.
And
Oh, is it
intimidate?
bluff, diplomacy, and intimidate.
Yep,
So
But
charisma
not
skills.
streetwise.
Yeah, but is that a power you have to trigger?
it is a
or that
power.
just always on?
So I don't know if we could even or have the option to hold their turns.
You can,
'cause-
yeah, you can hold your turn. It'll just drop you permanently on the initiative. But there's no bad guys to stab you, so presumably it wouldn't be that bad.
You
Because I
said
feel like probably the social stuff would be the things we'd want to more open up with, and until the stabbing happens.
yes. You said a +6 to bluff, diplomacy, and intimidate.
Yes.
All right.
Which again is a power that he has to activate.
So I'd have to
That's
go
not-
first
Right,
That's not always on.
if
I'll,
we want to activate that.
I'll
If that's the kind of things we want to open up with, if they don't want to go with those, then they could go first because it would.
I mean,
be...
I could go first with bluff anyways. Like I'm still rolling a +28.
Okay.
So, but I could also just go with stealth and like wait for you to use that in a later round.
Yeah. But if you're stealthing off, it might be ruled you're not.
Go
in
ahead.
Burst.
I've got something that I can do instead.
So,
Okay.
All right.
Then-
So, what are you guys trying to do exactly?
Get into the house and possibly also distract these people.
yes.
So get into the house undetected.
Yes.
Yes. Get into the house undetected sounds like a fine plan.
Undetected, huh?
Well, it's a plan.
Little sparkle.
I am going to turn into a tiny rat and start heading towards the house.
Okay. I believe that will be a stealth check.
With a +5, because I'm a tiny rat. That'll be a 46.
Nice.
That's a success. Little sparkle heads towards the house and is definitely not spotted by any mercenaries. And if she is, they're like, "Oh, it's a rat."
I
7
thought this was a nice out area of town.
It's a fancy rat.
I'm a pet rat.
She shows so stealthy they think it's just a rabbit.
7 hours wise.
All right. I'm kind of standing in front of everyone. They're I'm hoping all looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to look at the ground to see where the ice blast came from. And I'm going to look and see where that scorch mark, if there's any kind of telling trails from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to just kind of turn around and say, this one does not frighten me. And I'll do some flips and tumbles to land, 10 feet closer to the house than where I was at before using acrobatics.
Okay.
Why do you hate me?
Yeah?
Mhm.
All right. 40.
40 is a success. It's difficult to tell whether there would have been any wards that he would have hit on the way there because he's drunk, but he's certainly now way closer to the house, and all of the mercenaries that can see him are definitely tense and looking right at him.
I kind of give him a little thumbs up look when I land and a little smile.
As an M.
Well, while that is going on, I take advantage of the commotion, and it occurs to me that a guy tried to enter the chimney and was launched into space wahaha-hooey like Goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that there's a chance that whatever ward was on the chimney is now broken. So, athletically speaking, I'm going to attempt to climb up the house and get to the chimney, in a way that won't let me be seen, but is mostly athletics because,
Sure,
whatever.
sure. I mean, right now, generally, 7 Owls does have everybody's attention, so you can definitely do that.
I'm just going to parkour up the wall and whoosh my way up there.
Okay.
With an amazing 42.
Nice.
42 is a success. Yep. Zanem is up the house and manages to get pretty close to the chimney, and nothing has transformed him into a chair, so he's doing good so far. Which is going to take us to Dalin.
Are people looking at Zanem as well, or is
Nobody has spotted him, but he's not hidden. So,
okay.
Assuming that he could be spotted.
7 Owls Wise is doing a pretty good job of distracting
so far.
So far.
I'm going to use my Arcana to try and teleport basically around the side of the house, somewhere out of sight, out of the way.
Okay.
And oh my god, that's a total of a 30.
A 30 is not going to make it.
Action point?
You're supposed to say it during the call. Action point.
Do we need to just yet?
We haven't had any failures yet.
We haven't had any failures yet.
I mean,
I'd say it's your discretion.
Yeah, your call.
I'd say it's your call.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it just yet.
Okay.
So that'll be a failure. So Dalin is successful in basically getting to where he's going, but he's unsuccessful in the sense that he disappears in a puff of magic. Just skapoof, which leaves some lingering, I don't know what you prefer, like golden mist or sparkles or something, which then wafts up and points everybody out to where Zenem is up on the chimney.
Oh.
We're going to swirling dark and golden mist.
Okay.
It swirls around him before he poofs.
Yeah.
Diplomacy, intimidation's pretty good.
Which takes us to Albrecht.
So is there really anyone that would benefit other than me from my insightful comments at this time?
Does that last for like a turn?
It lasts for a turn, close burst 5.
I would say right now everybody is within range of you except for Dalin. So presumably they could shout some intimidating stuff from on top of the chimney or, de-ratify themselves. I guess ratify means something else, but you know what I mean. Potentially somebody could benefit from it.
So like a 17 plus 5 would be a 21, which is not bad. But that depends on if you really want to do it.
And I could definitely make use out of a bluff check with a super high score, but
yeah, I mean, I don't have to roll anything. I think I'll go ahead and trigger that. And I think in order to do so, can I do a what's it called here? Insight to kind of get a read on the crowd, so I can maybe let my colleagues know what social buttons to press to steer them on. Maybe be a voice in the crowds.
Oh, sure.
Listen to that guy.
Definitely.
All right.
How did that guy get so close? He must be really awesome.
All right, so I will roll that. Because otherwise I would benefit, but I'm going to go with the insight. 33.
33 will not make it.
I'll go ahead and spend the action point.
Okay.
Oh, we worse.
Ouch.
Okay, that's just a failure. And that's too bad. But hey, +6 bonus still.
Oh, we still get that?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not dependent on any roll. It's just.
oh, that's good.
Okay. So that's another failure.
Yeah.
So we'll say that Albrecht is gets really caught up kind of trying to assess the situation, and 7 is kind of has his eye on him, like, you guys have run this play before. It's like, okay, Albrecht's gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna get my reading off of Albrecht, and Albrecht's kind of like keeps edging forward towards the house just a little bit as he's trying to like read everyone, which causes 7 to also edge towards the house. At which point a bunch of ice tentacles burst out of the window and grab him.
Oh no.
Boo-wah!
And that'll be the top of the round.
So I will de-ratify, as you say, but like still trying to be crouched down to avoid being seen, and then try to throw my voice with mimicry to make it sound like Ket's voice, and be like, you think that you can stop me? I am Ket Hazard, the greatest warlock ever!
God. I'm really hoping it's not getting there now.
And what are you trying to accomplish with this?
I'm trying to make a bluff check to try to like get them to basically like focus their attention, like basically throw the voice as if she or he is speaking from like, you know, some place that is not where the party is right now.
Okay, all right, sure, go for it.
Just trying to create a distraction.
And you're getting a bonus from
+6, you say?
Yes.
Sweet.
My wisdom mod.
48.
48 is a success, definitely.
Yay.
Yeah, you are able to get everybody to focus. Basically, you get the focus off of 7 and Zanem, who are like the most exposed members. And a lot of the mercenaries kind of circle around to where they heard the voice coming from. I mean, obviously, these guys are still in view, but they're
less interested in watching the mercenaries.
Yeah. It's like now that there's been action from inside, they're more interested in that.
Cool.
Which is going to take us to 7 Ls wise.
So I'm wrapped up in these ice tendrils,
Yep.
the ice vines.
Yep.
Well, I don't think an intimidate's going to work here, Brian. So I'm going to bet that this is pretty cold and it's giving me some kind of a frostbitey kind of stuff, right?
Yep. Were you a lower level man, this would have probably killed you.
I bet it still hurts though, so I think I'm going to need to do a kind of perform some kind of a healing on myself. Maybe like try to vibrate my body really fast to counteract some of the damage that these icicles or these ice tendrils would be causing to my exposed skin.
I'm going to allow this.
All right.
I like it.
I'm guessing your secret monk technique to vibrate to stay warm is what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do my meditations and think about heating up the molecules around my body. And I roll a 40.
Right your chest. The arms will take
40,
care of themselves.
40 is a success. 7 successfully warms himself up and manages to mostly free himself from the tendrils, and he's very close to the house at this point.
Ooh.
And right now doesn't have a lot of attention on him, which takes us to Zanem.
All right. So Zanem has had most of the attention taken away from where he is.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to totally turn invisible.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And leap down the chimney.
All right. What would you like to use?
In a sneaky way. The sneakiest, stealthiest way ever. Not just sneaking past people, but sneaking past traps and sneaking past any sneakiness that needs to be sneaked.
Well, we'll see.
Or roll
Yeah,
stealth.
we'll see.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
I'm going to sneak past things.
This is the intention, at least.
This is the intention, yes. Now that I am invisible, to use my stealth to get past any traps because they won't perceive me.
Okay.
Or also fail.
37 is a success.
It is?
Wait, really?
Oh, crab cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed, crap.
Go
cakes.
me.
Yep. Zanem is certainly down the chimney.
Ken is
Fire
definitely been a
below?
bad boy, though. He's getting nothing but coal.
Yep. You're getting drow for Christmas.
Oh boy.
No one wants that.
No.
Hey, I'm right here.
No one
Just
wants
because you
that.
can't see me doesn't mean I can't hear you.
We meant for you to hear that. I am going to use Intimidate. I'm going to use magic to like create an explosion from where Seven Owls kind of is. Like right in front of him, make it look like he got blown. Kind of make it look like he got blown up and shove everybody away. Or scare everybody away. Make him think this isn't worth it. All right. God. It's a 34.
Oh no.
34 is not going to make
Oh.
it.
Use my action point this time.
There you go.
Oh,
There.
that's 20.
Hey!
Boom!
Nat 20.
Whoa, okay.
The boomiest of booms.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, Brian.
So that's going to be a success. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This means that no matter what, 7 Owls doesn't get to go again, right?
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay. So Dalin's intimidating fireball is successful in many ways.
Mhm.
One, it
God.
definitely pushes, like makes all of the mercenaries like back off. Two, they didn't see where it came from, so they think that it was maybe a trap that got triggered, it seems. And three, it's an actual big O explosion, maybe a little bigger than Dalin intended, so it blows 7 Owls into the house. Like
Yeah,
just
through one
right
of
through
those
a window
windows.
like a
Yeah.
rocket.
Hmm.
Ah! Nope. That is 100% how Dalin intended it.
Okay,
I'm
well, there you go.
helping. I'm helping.
7 Owls will be able to use this to get inside now. Hey, he's inside now.
All right. That is going to take us to Albrecht.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
I'm supposed to
Can
have one of
I-
those automatically succeed things.
No. Not exactly.
And you no longer have a plus 75 to your Arcana.
Nope.
Not exactly.
Can I like bull rush through the crowd to fight my way through and maybe grab a guy and kind of use him as a battering ram to push my way through the door
Wow.
using athletics?
Questionable.
I'm going to say yes to most of those, maybe without grabbing the guy.
All right, the biggest guy. No.
Yeah, you can definitely grab some. Like, there's plenty of debris now that you can grab as a shield to kind of burst through the door, or maybe through that shattered window that 7 Owls just went through.
Fair enough. I will try that then. Rolling athletics. 32.
Wait, don't you?
Don't you get a double roll?
You get a. Don't you get a 2 dice rolls on that?
I do get a reroll
Oh, you get a reroll.
Hey.
Okay.
if I need that,
Which
I
you do.
assume I do.
You
Okay.
definitely do.
All right.
Yeah.
Reroll then.
Nah.
Oh, even worse. Oh,
Oh.
man.
Action pointed up.
No, I already spent that
Oh,
last time.
boo!
Wow.
Oh. Well, folks.
So were those 2 rolls from Agile Athlete?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a failure.
Yep.
Rod.
Zanem is currently making his way down the chimney. 7 Owls is already inside the house. Dalin is kind of still hidden, and Little Sparkle is basically right up next to the house, also hidden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Definitely. Well, the good news is Albert gets inside the house. The bad news is that he collapses part of the house, be like kind of on top of him as he does so. He just hits it 2 square in the load bearing part. This does create enough of a distraction that Little Sparkle and Dalin can basically jump in through a window as well. And you guys are inside the house. Definitely the worse for wear, which we'll talk about when it comes to it.
Oh, and that sounds like our cue to say goodbye to you, dear listener. Thank you so much for checking us out this week and listening to the shenanigans of this group of people. A little bit different, also a little bit the same.
Yeah, we still snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yes.
Brian is still bad at rolling.
I rolled a nat 20 before the skills challenge.
Yeah.
That was yesterday. What have you done for me today?
Hey, listen, if you have any questions about this show or what the heck is going on, just drop us an email, podcast@majorspoilers.com. We'll get to those emails in a future episode, maybe ahead of the main show, so that we can get to a question, answer some questions for you, and get into the entertainment part. And until next time, for Little Sparkle and Zanim and Dahlin and Seven Owls Wise and Albrecht, I think I got everybody right, and our GM, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2019 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.